Hi, Kelly here. Are you in the market for a lens? Gosh, it happens maybe too often. Uh, we need a new lens. You want a new lens. You want to trade up for a better lens. You bought a lens. You're not sure it fits perfectly for what you need. And you're in the market for a lens. Or you're just looking at lenses because they're cool. And you wonder, should I get a new lens? Anyway, it happens. It happens to all of us. So today, I just want to walk through all of the lenses that I've purchased, why I purchased them, and how often I use them. Just to talk about the lenses. Uh, for those that I can fit on my Z6 III, I will. I can't fit my F mount lenses on here because I'm actually filming on my old Nikkor 50 1.8G with the FTZ adapter. But let's get started. The first lens, I'll start from the wide angle up to the telephoto. So first lens that I own is a Nikkor 10 to 20 millimeter 4.5 to 5.6 DX lens. A little tiny lens here. This lens I bought for real estate photography, and I know it's a DX lens, but frankly, and just as kind of a side note, a DX crop on the Z6 III is still 10 megapixels, and which is 4K resolution. And for most real estate kinds of things, or uses that I would use a wide angle like this, it was fine. So I bought this little lens to do some real estate. I haven't done much real estate. I do have an Airbnb, and I used it for some real estate shots there. It was pretty cheap, but it's perfect for what I needed. I didn't want to overspend for something I wasn't going to use a lot. Some of you, I'm sure, if you're doing real estate professionally, you've got a 14 to 30 lens or something, an expensive lens, which is fantastic. But I'm just walking through what I've done, and I think you'll see I kind of tend to spend more on the lenses that I think I'm going to use a lot, which I think kind of makes sense. Uh, anyway, 10 to 20 DX lens, first little lens um, that I have here, and I can't put it on the camera right now. Next up is my 24 to 70 f4 lens, S lens. You can see it on the camera here. This is my go-to lens for all things travel and walkabout. Whenever I'm on vacation and I'm just walking around doing whatever, this is my go-to lens. So typically I'm outside, lights generally fine outside. It's so sharp. I'm gonna, for each one of these lenses that I'll put up images and things as well. So it is just, I love it, and I've got a really big mammoth picture. It's about 4 or 5 feet wide over my couch here, from the Polychrome Mountains in Alaska that I took with this lens, and I just wow. But for having a camera for travel, this is it. Also, I use this lens when I'm doing event photography in conjunction with another lens, which I'll show in a minute. Generally, when I'm doing event photography, I've got two cameras. I have one camera with the 24 to 70 on it, and then another one with the other lens. So I use this also for events. Anyway, 24 to 70 f4, fantastic lens, great sharpness for the money, and it's way cheaper than the 2.8, even though the 2.8 is a great lens. That's, don't get me wrong. But I don't use this enough for that because I've got primes. That's kind of me. So let's keep going. Okay, next up is my actually, I should have done this before the other one, but that's okay. My Viltrox 20 millimeter f2.8 lens. This lens is really small. I got this lens to do astrophotography. I don't do a ton of astrophotography, but I did a lot of research and I realized I could spend like tons of money on a really wide aperture, slightly wider lens. But I didn't want to spend the money because I just don't do tons of astro. But I do some. I'm headed to Utah here in October, and I'll be taking this lens and trying to do some astro. So I don't have many pictures of astro right now because it's kind of it's sort of new for me. But 20 millimeter Viltrox f2.8 Z lens was a great buy, and it works great, and it's just super small. Great lens. So that's my astro lens. I really don't use it for anything else at this point. Okay, let's keep going. Nikkor. So here's my Nikkor 40 millimeter f2 lens. This lens I bought, again, it wasn't expensive, fairly bright. I use it primarily for two reasons. I use it. I'm not using it now because I wanted to show it to you, but I use it almost all the time for YouTube videos and filming. It's just great, and I love the 40 millimeter angle of view. 35 to me is just was a little too wide. I just like 40, and so I use it for two. I use it for YouTube videos, but I also use it for kind of indoor family event things. When I know I'm going to be indoors and I want to take pictures of just everybody kind of hanging around, family documenting family time. This is my kind of my go-to lens for that because I can back up just enough and I can get multiple people in a shot without any problem because it's wide enough. It's a little wider than 50, and and at f2 I still get good light even though the light indoors isn't great. So this is my go-to, and it's small. It's not obnoxious. And that's another thing when you're with family. Oh, Kelly's got his big camera out. I want to try and keep it a little smaller. So that's another reason why I like this lens. So Nikkor 40 millimeter f2 for filming and indoor family event things. All right, next up. That's a great little lens. Next up is, I've probably shot more images with this lens than any other lens I own. In fact, I know I did because I looked it up in Lightroom. Is the Nikkor 50 millimeter Z mount 1.8 S lens. This is the lens that I use for all indoor portraits. And when I say indoor portraits, I mean when I've got time with the grandkids, time with my kids, and I just want portraits to hang on the wall because we've got I print almost everything on these on the walls. I when I'm after portraits and close up intimate shots, one or two people, the 51.8S is my go-to lens, and it's just, gosh, it's good. It is so good. It's quiet, it's sharp. You can crop for days and still keep plenty of detail if you need to. It is just, I love this lens. And I use it probably the most of anything because we're always kind of hanging out and doing stuff. And I'll put it on my camera and we're just hanging with everybody and something will happen. And I'm like, oh, this is a moment. I'll just grab the camera, boom, 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 grab some shots. It is my go-to indoor portrait lens. So anyway, you'll see images. All right, next up. I put this back on. Next up is the 85 millimeter. So I love the 85 millimeter focal length, and I've used it quite. When I first started, I used it almost all the time. I had the Sigma Art 85, but once I went to mirrorless with the adapter, it was like just way too obnoxious, way too big. So I didn't keep that. I sold it. But right now I'm using the Sirui Aurora 85 1.4. This primarily is used for outdoor portraits. That's really the main thing. I might, in a pinch, use it for indoor. It's just it's a little too long. You have to. Sometimes you run out of real estate. Trying to back up to get an image. So the 85 for me just doesn't quite work indoors. If I'm doing outdoor photography, for portraits, graduation kind of a thing, or any type of outdoor portrait, the 85 is um, kind of the go-to for that. And I love the 1.4. So the 1.8 obviously is a super fantastic lens. I did a comparison of this to the Nikkor 85 1.8, and I wanted just a little bit brighter lens. And this is, I mean, in the center where everything kind of matters, it is like it's a sharp, not quite as sharp, but actually I kind of like that, a little bit of character to the shots. Anyway, the Sirui Aurora, and it's cheap. I mean, it's cheap. It's $500, I think, on sale, and it does a great job. So, and their customer service was great, and I've got a couple of videos on it. You can look at it. Actually, talk to Sirui and help them fix their firmware that they had some problems with. Anyway, great lens, 85 1.4 from Sirui Z mount. All right. Next up. Okay, next is my Nikkor 70 to 200 lens. This lens is my absolute go-to lens for outdoor events and event photography. So it is the other lens that I use when I'm doing events, church work kind of thing. I'll have one camera with the 70, the 24 to 70, and then the 70 to 200. The reach is great, and again, you can flip into DX mode, still get a wonderful 10 megabit or 10 megapixel image up to 300 millimeters at f2.8. It's sharp. It's great. Outdoor events and outdoor with family. This is on my camera. And man, it was expensive, but I don't regret it. I just don't regret it. Because the versatility that you get when you need to capture those moments with family and friends and events, it's hard to beat. It's just really hard to beat. Now, since this lens came out, there is another version, a less expensive version, which is 70 to 180, a little less expensive, actually a lot less expensive, but still an expensive lens. Which, if it was around, I might have gotten it, but at the time, this was all that was available. So anyway, I love this lens. I really love it. All right. So 70 to 200 f2.8s, incredible lens. All right, last lens. The last lens I own. Put this over here. The last lens I own is the Sigma. This is an F lens. Sigma 150 to 600C lens. I paid $950 for this lens about 7 years ago, and hang on a minute. So I paid $950 for this lens. I think it was a gray market lens. Anyway, about 7 years ago, and I just haven't, and I do lots of wildlife. I haven't been able to just make the switch to buy the Nikkor, 180 to 600 equivalent of this lens. Even though I'm sure it's great, but I'm just saying $950. I will do like a video just on this lens specifically, because at least for me, on how I set it up, there's firmware things that you can do, and focus limiting and focus speed and some other things to make it work really, really well with the Z mounts cameras. And it's just really sharp. It's sharp. It has optical stabilization, and for me, it works. It just works, and I because it works, and um, I'm just so used to using it. I'm like, I'm not going to sell this. It's not worth much, right? It's 7 years old. Um, so I'm not going to sell it, and I just can't bring myself to buy something else that's not going that like maybe will improve things. It would probably improve things, maybe, but this is just such a great lens. I've got a picture. Put this up there as well. Um, I've got a picture of an eagle that I took with this lens. It was far away, and I had the reach, and I shot it in DX mode, and it's hanging on my wall. It's like a 5 foot portrait of an eagle on my wall. I'll show you a picture of it. But man, it's a great lens. So if you're into wildlife, and honestly, I got this because I wanted to try wildlife. I mean, some of these lenses to just kind of get an idea whether you want to do it. Maybe you can rent one. That's probably better than what I did. But I got this to get started, and I've had it ever since. I used it with my Nikon D3300 and got fabulous pictures with it. So anyway, this is the last lens I own, and it's a great lens. So everything wildlife. This is my go-to for all of that. So there you have it. Those are all my lenses. In the comments, what are your go-to lenses? What do you use the most? What do you love? Love to kind of hear in your photography journey, kind of where you're at. Are you in the market for a new lens? Are you trying to decide between one or the other? I just thought I would kind of walk through all of mine and kind of how I made those decisions. In my view, there's usually a good budget option for something that I don't do a lot of, and I tend to kind of migrate to the budget options for those. And then for the things that are absolutely most important, I will tend to splurge a little bit and get a slightly better lens for those things. So that's just me. That's it. Hey, if you like these kind of videos, hit thumbs up. That will help kind of spread it around, and that helps the channel. And then subscribe if you'd like to see more. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.